What's up, social media world? My name is Josh Reed, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about success. And you may be looking at me right now and say, man, he looks tired, and you would be absolutely right. I am absolutely worn out from this week. It has been a very, very busy, long week. But it kind of brings me to this point. Success is not for the weak. We want to sit there and daydream all day about what it would be like to run our own companies or be millionaires and things like this. And what it takes is really just endurance. It takes fighting, and it takes consistent pushing. You cannot have a weak mentality if you want to be successful. When your body is tired and you're mentally exhausted, you need to just push forward and continue to move. And I think today is a pretty good representation for that for me. Like I said, it has been a long week. I have been working nonstop all the time, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I think that's something that we really need to put in perspective in our lives. If you think that when you get tired that you need to sleep and you can do that extra 1 hour of work the next day, or you need to take a day to relax and really kind of just not do anything at all and almost go into this comatose mindset, it's not going to work. Success is hard. It's a challenge, and it's you saying it's going to beat the shit out of me, and I'm still going to do it. And I think that a lot of that falls into where our mindsets and our drive and our passion really lie. If you're sitting there going, you know what, I can't do this right now, or you want to couple with an excuse, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. It's the rest. There's no rest for the wicked, is what they say, and you can always rest when you die, which is true. But at the same time, I'm not saying there aren't exceptions, and you saying, okay, well, it's time to take a relax, because we all need to have that kind of unwind, that kind of breath of fresh air for mental clarity. But you can't go back into it half-assed. You can't slowly get yourself, after you've taken that week of vacation or the weekend off, to just take a break. You have to go back in full force, 150%, and do it with everything that you have. Yeah, at the end of the week, you're going to be struggling to keep your eyes open. You're going to be tired. But that's why success is not for the weak. Weak people, weak-minded people, and I'm not talking physically, I'm talking mentally, they let their emotions and their feelings override everything necessary to become successful. I'm not saying you shouldn't be emotionally intelligent by any means, but there's a difference between being emotionally intelligent and letting your emotions dictate how you're going to perform. And people who get caught up in this idea that something is unfair, or someone is succeeding for this reason because they got a lucky break, you want to make those excuses, that's fine. You can be that person, and you know what? You'll be that person for the rest of your life unless you change it. Success, and I will say this multiple times during the video, is not for the weak. It is not for those people. If you see someone else succeed and you're not happy for them, you're the wrong person. And if you think that they didn't deserve it or whatever, and that is what your focus is on, you are mentally weak. If anything, it should push you to drive and be better. If you look at someone and you can congratulate them on their success, the best thing you can do is pick their mind. How did that happen? What did you do? What were the steps that you took? And you take that information and you take that little bit of what I like to call a nugget, and you apply it to your life. Don't be hateful towards someone who is willing to do more than you. And don't expect to be better or more successful than someone if you're not willing to push yourself harder and farther than that person. I was listening to an interview with Will Smith, and one of the things he said is when he's working out, if there was someone next to him and they were in a competition, it wouldn't matter how strong that person was. He was either going to make sure they got off the treadmill first, or he was going to die doing it. And I think that is an absolute amazing mindset to have when we talk about success. If you don't have the mindset that you're going to put everything in every single minute you wake up, every single hour of the day, and expect to come home and chill out on your couch and not continue to work, if you don't do that, you're not going to be successful. It just doesn't work that way. And I always talk about positive mental attitude and, keeping yourself surrounded by tens and, the people that are going to uplift you. Those people can only do so much. Those are the people and those are the situations that help you progress. But you ultimately are the only person that can say, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to kick today's ass. And you do it every single day. And yeah, there are going to be some days and there are going to be points of your life that you're going to get knocked down and you got to get back up, and you always hear it, but it's a true statement. And if you can't do that, if you get knocked down, I'm not saying that you need to get up immediately and be like, all right. If you take a little bit of time to get up, it's okay. But you have to understand that as long as you're progressing forward, no matter how small the step or how big the leap, as long as you continue to move forward and progress to do what you love and to become successful, you're doing the right thing. It's when we get this idea that when we get knocked down or we want to make an excuse because something didn't go right and we dwell on it, is when we notice that it almost turned into a snowball effect. It starts as this little thing, and the next thing you know, a week later or 2 weeks later, you're still talking about something that happened 7 or 14 days ago. It doesn't matter. Get over it. All right? It's not going to help you to dwell on those things. If anything, it's going to cloud your mind, your judgment, and your mental clarity. It's not going to be beneficial. And we really need to understand that part of being a strong mental person is understanding that shit happens and we move on from it. It's called life. But weak people will never be successful. So if you find yourself going, and making excuses, smack yourself in the face. Because that person that's doing that, they're not going to go anywhere, and they're not going to achieve the level of success that they want to be. Next time you look in the mirror and you want to say, well, my life is so bad, you need to really look yourself in the eyes and have that conversation with yourself and make the decision to not let that happen again, to not allow yourself to be brought down by everything around you. If anything, you need to allow it to make you stronger, and you need to find ways to learn from whatever failures you think you have or mistakes that you think you've made. And this is all about. It's about being mentally strong. And if you can't train your mind to become mentally strong, you will struggle for the rest of your life. And yeah, it's not easy. And I'm not saying there aren't going to be days that you just you're not you and that you just don't feel like doing anything. And mentally strong people on those days, they push harder and they do more. So wake up in the morning, get yourself going, get motivated, start shoving your mind full of positivity, start learning and start driving. And when failure smacks you dead in the face, you look at it, you laugh, and you push that much harder. So that being said, that is my little tidbit for tonight. I hope everyone enjoys the video. Of course, if you love the content, please share it and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, if you have any topics or anything like that, you can always message me directly on any one of the social media platforms of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. I will talk to you guys here in a few days with another awesome video, and we'll see you soon.